Now let me open it. Um, okay, so we can also do a screen sharing. So you have it, but we both have on the screen.
Oh, oh,
Oh.
I have it open on my work computer, Mataji. Not I'm looking at you through my phone.
Ah, okay, okay, no problem. So you are anyway.
Just
You
you
can
could
see.
tell me which chapter to go to, and
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah,
look
yeah.
there.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. So as we were discussing,
Yeah.
we need to start from the ABC. Okay, we
Yes.
need to start with the first instructions of Krishna to Arjuna,
Okay.
which starts from chapter 2, verse 11,
Chapter 2, verse 11.
which is here, Asochanam Basocastvam.
Let me go there,
Yeah.
Mataji. Once. Chapter 2, verse 11.
So, in this verse, Krishna starts to explain to Arjuna um, what is the Atman.
Oh,
And this is the most important thing, the first thing we need to learn and understand and realize, because if we don't understand this, nothing else will make sense. Okay,
hmm.
so are you there?
Yeah. Is it the one that says the glorious
Yeah,
Lord
the
said, although
glorious
you speak
Lord
wise?
said, although
Okay.
you speak wisely, you are lamenting for something that should not make you sad. Those who really know the truth do not grieve for the dead or for the living. Okay, so
Hmm.
this is something that almost no one will will accept. You know, they say yes, 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 but it's lip service and very superficial. If they can accept this verse already, they are well advanced on the way to liberation, to moksha. And verse 2, certainly there was never a time when I did not exist, and you and all these chieftains of men have always existed as well. Also, none of us will cease to exist in the future. So, what we were discussing yesterday, what will cease to exist is not us, it's a body. But we are already changing bodies so many times in this very lifetime. And the memory of the previous bodies depends on us, on how we can accept the idea of remembering. If you try to remember things from your childhood, it's not easy because you had a different body. You need to make an effort. It's more difficult than remembering what you did yesterday or the day before yesterday, because still the body you had yesterday or the day before yesterday was still very similar to the one you have today. But the body you had when you were 5 or 10 was very different. So let's go on. And verse 13. The embodied soul who lives in this body passes from one form to the other, as from childhood to youth to old age. And similarly, at the end of this body, he passes on. A wise person is not confused by this passage. So, you don't need to worry whether you will remember or not. You need to make, do the work, necessary work in this lifetime, now, in this body, so that your memory will become better. You'll be able to remember better. If you don't remember, it doesn't mean that the memory is gone. It means you cannot access it. You cannot connect with it, but it's still there. Your mind, your subconscious mind, contains all the memories from all your previous lifetimes. You just need to accept that you are not the present body. If you understand that, if you realize that, if you accept that, you will be able to remember. Okay? If there is something you don't understand, you can stop me anytime. Okay. A son of Kunti, this is verse 14. The contact of the senses with the sense objects causes joy and distress, just like cold in the winter and heat in summer. Such feelings are temporary. They come and go, O descendant of Bharata, and you should just try to tolerate them without being confused and distracted from your duty. This means that the pleasures that we are seeking in this world, in this body, are temporary. And even the pleasure is causing us pain. Because joy and distress, they cannot be separated. In this world, in the material world, with the material body, you cannot separate the joy from distress. The very fact that the joy is temporary means it will stop. When you have spent your karmic credit, the benefits will stop. This is why we need to constantly work to build up again our karmic credit and pay for what we consume. Is this clear?
No.
Do you have any questions about this?
No, I don't. I mean, to be honest with you, Mataji, I still feel sad. No.
Yeah, you still feel sad because you don't understand the situation. If you, I guarantee, I promise, if you understand properly, your sadness will go away by itself. Okay. Let's just read these teachings on the atman. Okay. Then we can go on your personal situation.
Okay.
Okay. Now, 15. O best among men, one who is not distracted by all these feelings and is always equally balanced in suffering and in joy is a sober person, and he can aspire to immortality. That doesn't mean that you have to reject the feelings. Doesn't mean that you don't feel any feelings. Doesn't mean that you are not perceiving any feelings. You are not sensitive to feelings. Yeah, but you're not distracted because you can still drive your car. Okay, the senses are like, wild children who are traveling with you in the car. Someone is throwing, chewing gum at you, the other one is screaming, the other one is singing, the other one is poking your seat, back seat, your seat in the back, and someone else is trying to pull your hair.
Yeah.
You need to keep driving. You need to tolerate and, to be detached from all this. You cannot allow all these senses and the mind and desires and sadness and feelings and whatever to distract you, because you need to drive the car. Because when you reach your destination, you'll open the doors of the car and let the kids run wild and, pull each other's hair, but they will leave you in peace. But you need to reach the destination. Okay? Now, 16. Those who see the truth know that what is illusory temporary, bad, will not continue to be. While what is real, eternal, good will never be destroyed. They have carefully observed both things and reached this conclusion. So, your temporary feelings, your temporary desires, your material concerns are temporary and illusory. They're not real. Okay? Now, 17. Know that it is an imperishable spirit that pervades all this universe of bodies, and no one will be able to destroy what is imperishable. So you will never die. Your consciousness is always there. The only problem now, it is covered by layers of dirt, by your beliefs, your opinions, your desires, your choices. You just have to wash them away. Okay. 18. All these material bodies are destined to end, while he who is in these bodies is said to be eternal, because he cannot be destroyed or measured materially. Therefore, O descendant of Bharata, you should fight. Means you should do your proper work, your proper duty. 19. One who knows this Atman Brahman does not consider himself to be killing or being killed. In both positions, he knows that one does neither truly kill nor is truly killed. So, this idea of revenge and power and everything, they're all dreams. They're all illusions. You are actually much more powerful in yourself. Your dreams of becoming powerful, are actually just dreams, while you actually are much more powerful than that. But you're not using your power. Okay. Let's go on. Let's see. 20. The soul never takes birth and never dies at any time. It eternally exists without beginning or end. The soul that is in the body is unborn, eternal, imperishable, immensely ancient, and cannot kill or be killed, because what is killed is the mind, the body, especially the body.
Does that mean, Mataji, that we've been living for millions and millions of years?
Yes. Yeah. We cannot calculate because we are all more or less different. The souls keep coming in the material world, and some are going, some are staying. It's like an airport. Some people have been traveling for longer. Some people have been just came, just started to travel. But when we start asking these questions, it means that we have traveled enough, long enough, millions of years, thousands of lifetimes. So, this is the time to wake up. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Now is the time to understand the Atman Brahman. Okay? Now, 21. O son of Prita, when one knows that this soul is imperishable and eternal, unborn and unchangeable, how one can kill another, and who will kill whom? Because we are all parts of God. Atman Brahman. Now, again, we go for the reincarnation explanation. 22. Just like a man abandons clothes that have become torn or worn out and acquires other new clothes, in the same way one leaves a damaged body and accepts another new body. Okay, so we don't need to cry over the fact that our body is old. Because we do what we can do with the present dress we have, the present clothes we have, which are still allowing us a good, amount of experience and learning and work and pleasure and pain and everything. But when this body is not good enough anymore, we can move on and get a new body. And the quality of the new body depends on our good karma. It's not something that happens by chance or by God's special blessing or by some, obscure destiny. It's about the work that we do in this lifetime. If we do good work, we'll earn karmic credits. So if you want to have a better life, you need to work for it. Okay. And let's go on. 23. This soul who is in the body cannot be cut by any weapon or burned by fire, moistened and soaked by liquids, or dried by the wind. Because it's transcendental, it's non-material. 24. The spirit cannot be hacked to pieces or burned or desiccated. Actually, it is eternal, omnipresent, permanent, and does not go away. It is everlasting. Never disappears. It's always there. You are always you. Okay. Next. 25. It is said that this soul is invisible to material eyes, inconceivable to material intellect, and not affected by change. Therefore, knowing this soul, you should not worry. 26. Even if you think that this soul always continues to take birth and to die, in any case you still should not be aggrieved. Because one who has taken birth must necessarily die, and one who has died will again be reborn. There is no point in despairing over something that is inevitable. Just relax, cool down. Okay, 28. O descendant of Bharata, all the living entities, states of being, are initially non-manifested. Then they become visible on an intermediate stage, and then again disappear in the end. What is the point of lamenting about that? Lamenting is tamas. Okay. We'll see later on when the Bhagavad Gita is talking about the gunas. Okay. 29. Some see this atman as amazing. Some others describe it as amazing. Some hear of it as amazing. And some remain unable to understand it even after hearing about it, because it's not easy to understand. It's simple, but it's not easy. Just like these images that you sometimes find, the images that have a double meaning. It's not difficult, it's not complicated to see the second meaning in the picture, but only after you actually have seen it once. So you actually see, you understand it. But, until you do, people can explain a lot of things to you theoretically, but that is not going to be sufficient. You need to actually see it directly. This is called prakash, enlightenment, darshan. Okay. 30. O descendant of Bharat, this eternal soul that lives in the body cannot be killed, and is present in all bodies. Therefore you should not be aggrieved for all these living beings, including yourself.
What does that mean? That our body is also present? Our atman.
We are present in this body as one. Yeah, we are present everywhere. But because we identify with this body, we think that we are only in this body.
So if we're present everywhere, why can't we see other things like from doesn't that mean we're like omnipresent, Mataji?
Yeah. But, the point is the famous story of Plato and the cave, Unless you go out of the cave, unless you turn on the light, unless you open the window, you cannot see. You are sitting in the dark, with the hood on your eyes, and you wonder, why can't I see the sun? Why can't I see anything? You just have to remove the covering. And what is the covering? The identification with this particular material body. This is why I, do this practice, helping people by recovering and integrating a past life memories, because it becomes easier to give up the identification with this particular material body. Because if we remember that we have been in so many other bodies, then we start understanding why we are not this body. You understand the point?
A little bit, Mataji.
Good. Even 1 inch is good, is progress. Okay. 31. Yeah, 31. Considering your own dharmic duty, you should not hesitate, because for a kshatriya there is nothing better than fighting a dharmic battle. So you need to do your duty, but you need to know exactly what your duty is. Okay? Let's go. 32. A son of Prita, happy are the kshatriyas to whom such opportunity comes unsought. For a warrior engaging in such a battle is like having the doors of heaven open in front of him. Okay. I think, you are not particularly interested in going to Vaikuntha. You would be happy to go to Svarga.
No, I do want to check out Vaikuntha as well, Mataji. I just don't know what's so special about it.
Yeah, because Vaikuntha is created by your consciousness. Vaikuntha is everywhere. Svarga is not everywhere.
No, but it's like, didn't you say also, Mataji,
Well, that is the embassy, Prapanchika Vaikuntha, which is in this material world. It is the planet is called Svetadvip, and it is in around what we call the pole star. But still,
yeah, how do we even go there, Mataji?
by
To the pole star?
consciousness,
That's a beautiful location.
you need to develop the proper consciousness. Without developing the proper consciousness, your mind will not allow you. You need to control your mind first. You need to drop all the, dirty stuff that is covering your mind. You need to have a nice, space suit. What you have is, is dirty rags. You need a proper spacesuit. So you need to throw away these old dirty rags and have a nice wash and get a nice spacesuit. Then you'll be able to go. I'm talking about the mind here. Okay? I'm not talking about the NASA, gear. Okay? Okay, so. Okay. Therefore, if you do not engage in this dharmic action, you'll lose your good name, a kshatriya. What you will obtain is papam, the stain of sin. Because if we don't do our duty, we'll have to pay for it. Remember, karmic, bank account, that's not going to help. 34. Everybody will speak of your infamy forever. For a respectable person, a bad name is worse than death. The great generals will think you have left the battlefield out of fear. Those who used to keep you in such a high esteem will not take you seriously anymore. Your enemies will circulate many bad rumors about you, offensively demeaning your valor. What could be more painful for you? If you're killed in battle, you will attain the higher planets. And if you win the battle, you will enjoy the pleasures of this world. Therefore get up, O son of Kunti, and abandoning all doubts, fix your mind on the battle. You're not fighting with on a physical battlefield with weapons and armies and stuff, but we all are all fighting our battle. And we need to fix our mind on what needs to be done, not on what we would like to have. Because if you just think about what you would like to have and why you're not having it, how is your situation going to improve? How can you work and earn the merits, the bank account, karmic bank account, to get what you want? This at least is a bit rajasic. But sitting and moaning about what we want and what we don't have is tamasic. How is tamas going to help you? Krishna here is talking about sattva. Sattva is the best, because sattva means you do your duty without being attached to the results of your work. Kardanieva adhikaraste matphalesu kadachana. You have the adhikar, the right and the duty to perform the proper actions, according to your guna and karma, according to the higher scope of service to the universe. Okay, in dharma, by respecting dharma. And then the results will come. If you only think about the result and you don't do the work, what are you going to get? Depression, sadness. And what? How is that going to help? You just have to abandon all this garbage, all this tamasic doubt, sadness, depression, and whatever, and fix your mind on the work you need to do, the good karmic work. I know depression comes even if we don't look for it. But depression, sadness is just an emotion. Emotions are like waves. They come and they go. We remain in sadness and depression only if we clutch, if we cling to these emotions. So instead of letting them go, we try to follow them. Of course, they will then will not stop feeling sad and depressed, because we are going with that wave. We have to let the wave go, disappear, go away. Okay. Now, this is 38. If you fight this battle while remaining equally disposed means unattached and prepared to joy and sadness, let them come. You're not attached, you're prepared. Joy comes, you enjoy it. Then it will go, and then, it was good while it lasted, now it's gone. When sadness comes, we have to tolerate it, will also go. Because,
but Mataji over here, when he says, you will never be touched by sin. I thought sin is just, harming other beings. As long as you don't harm others.
Exactly.
Why in this case is he going to be touched by sin? I thought there's no sin as long as you don't harm anyone.
Yeah, but if you are attached to the sadness and joy and gain and loss and victory and defeat, you will harm other people. You will harm yourself. You will harm others. Because
but in this case, isn't it that Arjuna does not want to harm anyone, because he's seen these people are
exactly. He doesn't want to cause the death and pain of anyone, but the real problem here is that Duryodhana is a very bad king, and he is not doing the proper duty of a kshatriya. The duty of a kshatriya is to protect the prajas, even at the cost of their own life and the life of the bad people. But that's not because you want revenge. That's because you want to protect the prajas. You're doing the right thing, not because you want revenge, not because you want the kingdom. You understand?
Okay.
Not because you want something for yourself. Not because you want joy and you don't want sadness. You want gain and you don't want the loss. You want victory and you don't want defeat. If you're working on this material attachment, you will inevitably commit some sinful activity. The only way to remain clean, to stay on the side of Dharma, is to do one's dharmic duty without attachment. Equally disposed doesn't mean that you don't feel anything. Doesn't mean that you become masochistic. That you like to, to get the pain. Okay? It just means that you know that joy and sadness will all go away. They both go away. You enjoy your pleasure while you have it, and when it goes, you say, okay, yeah, well, no problem. It's gone. We knew it would go. You understand?
Yeah.
A little bit, okay. Okay, now, let's go 39. I have explained this point to you from the analytical method of examination called Sankhya. Now listen to this concept as observed from the perspective of the practice of intelligence called Buddhi Yoga. O Partha, through this Buddhi Yoga, which is the application of intelligence and correct understanding, you will be released from the bondage of karma. If the knowledge, understanding will destroy your bad karma. Okay. 40. On this path, no effort goes to loss, and there is no failure or harm. Even a little effort in the direction of this Dharma liberates one from the greatest fear. 41. O beloved descendant of Kuru, the intelligence, understanding that is constantly focused on the Atman is the only true one in this world. Those who do not concentrate on the soul disperse their intelligence in innumerable minor ramifications. Bahusakas Yanantascha. Okay. O son of Prita, those who do not have a full understanding preach or recite about these things with many flowery words, and those who are attached to the letter of the Vedas are unable to recognize anything else. This is why on Quora you'll find a lot of blah, 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 blah that don't go anywhere. And not just on Quora, everywhere. We need to actually get the full understanding of what is the Atman and what is the Brahman. Okay. Now, these people aspire to the pleasures of the higher planets, which I was telling you, you would be happy with Svarga. You have to learn to be content, be happy with what you have.
But Swarga is temporary though, right, Mataji?
Yeah, it's temporary, and you enjoy it while it lasts. And when it goes, you say, okay, yeah, well, let's go back to work and make some more karmic money. And
where can you go to permanently enjoy everything, Mataji?
That's when you go to Vaikuntha, but because you have no more desires. Because as long as you have desires of enjoyment burn your good karma.
But then, Mataji, when you have no desires and you go to Vaikuntha, what's the purpose of going to Vaikuntha when you have no desires? Then it's a boring life.
You are confusing desire with happiness. You're confusing sense gratification with happiness. It's not the same thing. Happiness is happiness. Happiness is eternal. It's already there. You don't need to run after it because you are happiness. You are Satchidananda. Your Sat means you're eternal, permanent. Chit means you have the full knowledge, the full understanding. Ananda means you are happiness. The problem is that when we are conditioned by, material conditioning, material desires, beliefs, identifications, attachments, karma, habits, beliefs, mostly beliefs, then you cannot perceive the happiness anymore because it's so covered. You think, unfortunately, you still think that pleasures are going to make you happy. No, you see people who are so rich, so wealthy. Why they're not happy? They always want more. The illusion, you see people who appear to be healthy, young, strong, rich, and they have everything. And you think they're happy. But that's not a fact. Because if they were happy, they would not try to get more. You understand what I'm saying?
But Mataji, so like when you go to Prapanchika Vaikunta, I mean, aren't people living luxuriously there? Like you told me that.
Yeah, but you cannot stay in Prapanchika Vaikunta. You can
Well, why
go,
can't
but
we
you
stay there?
cannot stay. You can go to the I don't know, the Italian consulate, but you cannot stay there. You understand? Prapanchika Vaikunta is not a place where, you can aspire to be there unless you want to work for the consulate. But you don't want to work for the consulate, you just want to enjoy the consulate. So it's, a consulate means it's not a permanent residence. Okay, let's go on. It will come. 43. They aspire to the pleasures of the higher planets, considering them as the most desirable purpose, and to the fruits of their actions to be reaped in the next lifetime. Therefore, they perform a great variety of complicated rituals to achieve the purpose of a high position and sense gratification. So, you want Svarga, you can go to Svarga, you can go to the higher planets, okay, no problem. But you need to do some very good karma to go there. Because it costs, it's not free. It's not that God, because you pray God will say, okay, this is a free residence in Svarga. Because you prayed me. You asked me, so I'm giving it to you. No. You have to earn it. You have to have the karmic credit, the punya. Then you'll be able to stay there for a very long time. And then when you finished your vacation, then you have to go back to work. Let's go on. 44. Because they are attached to pleasure and a high position of power and opulence, and their minds are confused by such things, they remain unable to focus their understanding on the self, and to attain samadhi, which is a balanced consciousness, freedom, moksha. If you go to Svarga, Svarga is not moksha. Moksha is a totally different thing. 45. The Vedas, the books of knowledge, deal with the various manifestations of the three gunas. Arjuna, you should rather become detached from all these three gunas and situate yourself in that pure goodness that is not subject to changes. One who knows the atman becomes free from all dualities and finds protection in detachment. Oh, detachment. 46. Whatever value is found in a pond is also found for all purposes, also in a large lake. And similarly, whatever is contained in all the Vedas can be found in a person who has realized the knowledge of Brahman. Because Brahman is knowledge, is the sum total of all knowledge. 47. You certainly have the right to perform actions, but never the right to enjoy the fruits of your actions. Do not try to become the cause of the fruits of the action, but do not become attached to inaction. It means you should work like a bank employee. You know, you count all the money, you move all the money here and there, but you are detached. You don't think that is your money. And for this work you get a salary, you get your own money. Okay? But you just do your duty. You know, don't think that you are trying to make more money. Okay?
But Mataji, nobody goes to work for free, Mataji.
Of course. That is why if we work for the universe is giving us, you know, our part, our salary. Ishavasya midam sarvam yat kimcha jagatam jagat.
How do I know if I'm working for the universe, though, Mataji?
Huh?
How do I know if I'm working for the universe?
Oh, that's a very good question. You know from Shastra, from Guru, and from Paramatma. You know, that's why it is important to find the actual Guru who can understand where you are situated, what you are supposed to do, and what is your duty, what are your guna and karma, and how to improve on your guna and karma. That's the job of the Guru.
Like my parents, for example, is that working for the universe, Mataji, or?
Yes, but you know, you have to do it in a dharmic manner, in the proper manner. It's not just like, for example, if your job is driving the school bus, okay,
Yeah.
you know, it's not just that you jump on the bus and you drive it around. No,
Yeah.
your job is to go from one place to that place and pick up, you know, a child, and then go to the next place and pick up another child and take the children in orderly fashion to the school. And you have, while you're driving, you have to, you know, watch out for other vehicles. You have to follow the rules, you know, of the traffic. You know, you have to respect the green lights and the red lights. You know, it's more complicated than that. Taking care of your parents is your duty, but doesn't cover. For example, you are not supposed to do whatever your parents tell you, especially if your parents are not wise persons. You know, if your parents are not wise persons, if they're not giving you the proper instructions, if they're not asking the right things from you, you know, you have to treat them like children. Because they don't have the wisdom of an elder. Who is an elder? He's someone who has more wisdom than you, more knowledge than you. You know, these days, parents are usually, you know, more confused than their children. They have not been trained properly. You know, they have produced offspring like cats and dogs. Because, okay, you know, well, we have to make children because this is what we do. They're not real parents. They're just, dog parents. Because, okay, dogs are good. Dogs are atman as well. We shouldn't disrespect any being. We're not saying that they're bad. But I was saying they don't have the required human consciousness. They are not qualified as elders because they're not wise. They don't have knowledge. They made a mess of their own life, and if you listen to them, they will make a mess of your life as well. You understand?
Yeah.
So your duty is still to take care of your parents. But if they have dementia, how are you going to take care of them? You need to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And if they ramble, with stupid things and, whatever they have been dreaming or thinking or imagining, you're okay, you listen, say, yeah, daddy, yeah, mommy, yeah, sure, no problem. Let me take you back to bed. You understand? In the Vedic system, you have the duty to take care of your parents, but especially the Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas, at the age of 50, they were supposed to leave home and go to the forest. Go to pilgrimage, not to stay in the house to be a burden to their children.
But in today's day and age, that's not possible for
And that's
everyone.
not exactly, that's what I'm saying. So taking care of your parents has to be adapted to Desha Kalapatra, to the place, time, and people and situation. You cannot just think, I'll take care of my parents, I'll do whatever is needed for my parents. Okay, yeah, well, give them some sleeping pills. Not to kill them, but, to keep them sleepy enough so they don't wander off in their Alzheimer dementia state, and, you find them in the middle of the highway in the traffic and they don't know what they're doing. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This is what they do in old age homes. What do you think? They don't give them sleeping pills?
Well,
They take care of the old people. Yeah, but depending, that's their duty because it's their job. It is your duty to take care of your own parents because that is your, job as a son, not a job as an employee or a nurse or a caretaker or whatever. It's still your duty. But how you're going to take care of your parents, it depends on the place, time, and situation, on the person. If your parents are actually wise, intelligent people, they're more advanced, they can give you good advice, of course, you show them, not only you show them respect, but you also listen to them and make an effort to obey what they're telling you. But if they're not qualified, the advice they're giving is stupid. You don't have to follow it. In extreme cases, you can even give them up. Especially, this is not your parents' case, but if your parents are Adharmic people, Asuric people who are, pushing you to do bad things, your duty is to give them up. Like Prahlad did. Prahlad still loved his father, Hiranyakashipu. So when Nishinga asked Prahlad if, he wanted to give him blessing, Prahlad said, please, liberate my father, take care of my father, help my father to, become a better person. Take care of my father. That's what Prahlad said. He asked nothing else. He was asking for his father to be okay. Because he actually was a very good son, a very dutiful son. But that doesn't mean that he was following whatever Hiranyakashipu was telling him to do. You understand?
yeah.
Now, we need to go deeper. Most people are very superficial. They don't go deeper. They don't use the brain. They're discouraged from using the brain. By society, by school, by government, by religion even. And especially Abrahamic religions, they're the professionals in, discouraging people from using the brains. They made it, they brought this job to perfection. So we need to, shed, to drop bad habits, bad beliefs, bad ideas, because they're not going to help us. They're just going to create more problems for us. Okay. So, 48. Firmly situated in yoga. Perform the required activities, giving up the attachment connection to them. This equanimity in success and failure is called yoga. We do our job in the best possible way. Whatever comes is good. 49. Therefore, Dhananjaya, keep far away from all bad activities by engaging in Buddhi Yoga. Always take shelter in this intelligence. Those who work because they are interested in the fruits of the action are pitiable. Pitiable. They're kripana. Pitiable people. They're misers. They don't live happily. Here, 50. Through Buddha Yoga, one can become free already in this life from both bad and good actions and reactions. Therefore, you should engage in yoga, which is the best way to deal with actions. Of course, this yoga is not the vinyasa yoga by which you make your stomach dance in front of the cameras, or you press yourself up, in stupid positions to show that, oh, you are so, agile. That's not yoga. That's physical exercise, that fitness, that is, whatever playing you want to do with the body. This is the yoga. We are talking about the Buddha yoga. Okay. The wise people give up the fruit born from their actions by engaging in this Buddha yoga and thus become free from the bondage of rebirth, attaining a position that is free from all sufferings. Because even if you go to Svarga, you'll have, good things and bad things. You have more good things and bad things, compared to what we are getting on this planet, but still, it is not going to be eternal and perfect. There will be problems. 52. When this intelligence, wisdom, will lead you out of the dense swamp of illusion, you will come to a point where you will be indifferent to whatever has been heard or will remain to be heard. So, because you have the direct experience, you see things as they are, you realize things. Okay. Now, 53. When you are stable in your consciousness without being confused by what has been heard, then you will achieve the yoga where the intelligence does not waver. Waver. I think I did some spelling mistake. That should be waver. Okay. From samadhi. Okay, let's go on. Arjuna said, okay, so a person who is firmly established in the consciousness of meditation is said to be in samadhi. How does he speak and what does he say? How does he move and how does he stay? So, we have to see the symptoms. When someone gives up all the desires that flow into the mind and remains satisfied in the atman, he is said to be firmly situated in the correct understanding. So, you see, this is the situation.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll continue next time. Now I think you need to digest a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot to digest, Mataji.
I